do not sleep on LSU. I'm just telling you right now, I watched that game. I called that game. I was in the building for that game. And this LSU team, I think, was outplayed for most of the game. Most of it. Okay. I thought Ole Miss left a few plays on the board. Ole Miss had a 4th down and 1 that was stopped behind the line of scrimmage inside the LSU 10. Ole Miss missed a field goal high and right. It was a very makeable field goal. It was really just one that you wouldn't expect their kicker to miss. They had a drop by their best offensive player downfield that if they catch it, he scores. It's a different looking ball game. They had about 4 different 4th down opportunities it felt like to get off the field. So Ole Miss, I thought, outplayed LSU really from start to finish. But LSU is one of those teams where they're always seemingly capable of creating a matchup that will beat you. And y'all, we talked about Oklahoma already. Oklahoma's without their top 5 wide receivers or whatever it is. LSU is without a lot of dynamic playmakers as well. Kyron Lacey scored the game-winning touchdown, but he was sidelined at one point in this game with a hyperextended left leg. Chris Hilton's been out all season long, but he's close to being back. You also have a wide receiver in CJ Daniels that was out for this game, but he's expected to be back at some point here very soon. Your explosive running back, Caden Durham, injured his foot against South Alabama. So he didn't look anywhere near like he looked a couple weeks ago with the same level of burst and the same level of explosiveness, but that's only a matter of time. LSU's offensive line, I think, is still one of the best in the sport, and I think their quarterback is the real deal. You're going to look at Garrett Nussmeier's numbers, and you're going to say, well, come on, man. The numbers are just unimpressive from this past weekend. Yeah, he threw for a lot of yards, but look, execute those throws. Like Garrett Nussmeier, the Garrett Nussmeier you're getting right now is, I don't want to say the worst because that has a negative connotation, but the Garrett Nussmeier you're getting today, be glad that you got him today, because here in a couple weeks, well, wait until he decides on a few different occasions to take off when he sees 2-man and converts 3rd downs with his legs. He did it once this past weekend, but that was his 3rd scramble of the season, I might add. On the year, not accounting for sacks, the guy's got 27 rushing yards. Well, 14 of them came on one of those plays. He had 5 carries. So just looking at all of that, I think Nussmeier is going to get better and better and better as the season goes along. And you know who also I think is going to get better? Their defense. I think we already know that their defensive ends are the real deal. What I've seen from Brayton Swinson, what I've seen from Savion Jones, those guys are a handful on the interior, on the edges. But on the interior, you got 2 freshmen. You got a guy that was playing Division II football last year in Javier Suggs. You got, you got Peya, who transferred from Wisconsin, who's solid on the inside, and their linebackers. Now they're without Harold Perkins, and that's a big name on paper that is no longer there. But I think his absence has allowed them to be a little better in coverage. Zy Alexander, their corner, their best corner, is now back and healthy, 10 months removed from an ACL injury. Like, I'm telling you, this LSU team, the arrow is pointing up. Big time up. They were fortunate this weekend that Ole Miss made some critical mistakes that allowed LSU to steal it. I think LSU's best football is coming up, but they better be careful this week. The battle to boot, Arkansas. Arkansas is also dangerous.